The forum has just finished, and I would like to start by asking you, what are your first impressions?
Well, we are very excited because it was our understanding that people believed that they interacted a lot. We gave them the opportunity to participate, in fact, to be in the driving seat of the process. So that for us was the main indicator of success of the event.
The interactive process allowed for different stakeholders from different countries to not only share ideas, but actually synthesize their ideas and come up even with action plans, suggestions for improvements in existing policy programs or new policy programs.
We kind of now realize how much we can learn when we talk actually to the people who are in the field. Because we worked on this topic several years ago, but then we had to do it from our desks in Thessaloniki, so we had to rely on published reports. That gives you just, let's say, a very general impression of what a policy is about. Talking to the people here, it was much more rich. We got really to know what were the diamonds in these initiatives, and compared to a normal conference, this is usually not the case.
Which is why Cedefop has adopted this new format, isn't it?
That's exactly right. It's, if I'm not mistaken, the 5th time that Cedefop is trying out these policy learning forums. And each single time we are improving or building on the experiences of the past examples. At the end of the day, we also gave it our own positive spin, and we introduced new learning techniques and new methods.
In this kind of event, you cannot leave everything open, because then it's very hard to organize. But we did have, let's say, what we called democracy in the forum. One of the 6 tables, the theme that was discussed there was based on the participants. They really had a say in what they thought were the important issues to discuss.
For each table we had suggested some thematic areas or intervention areas, as we call them, through which the participants could provide input, so it would be very useful for our analysis later on. And again, there we said that, you know, there is the opportunity that you suggest other options, other areas, because definitely this event was a way for Cedefop to validate the outcomes of previous work and, of course, what the literature is now debating on.
Any ideas from those that you've heard during these 2 days that stand out for you?
There were plenty of ideas that went around. Some of them innovative, some of them would be considered more mainstream. The event showed that when you put together a group of people with diverse experiences, you can push the frontier of the knowledge a little bit further. So, for example, we heard about how to improve the profiling systems for the long-term unemployed by potentially relying on big data or relying on particular artificial intelligence methods.
In some countries, especially where there is not, let's say, mass long-term unemployment, what tends to happen is that the people that kind of are left in the pool of unemployed, they need much more attention, because actually for those people, in many cases, actually before you start thinking about training or placing someone in employment, there's many other issues that need to be addressed. We had a very interesting case study on how Amsterdam tries to do that. Where they have, let's say, either the options for some people to have a program at a private employer, or there's also the possibility for these people to have what they call an internship at one of the municipal services.
Potential activation measures, policies which, of course, need to be carefully designed, need to be carefully tailored to the particular circumstances, they can have an effect. We did hear and see evidence of the fact that we are faced with this huge problem in Europe of having 11 million people who are long-term unemployed. There are examples of wrong policies that can sometimes backfire, but hopefully with the lessons that we have learned today and will continue to be learning, we will be able to provide further evidence to policymakers so that they can design their policies with at least having the right ingredients, therefore increasing their chances of being successful and of eventually helping individuals getting back to jobs.
So Cedefop is now better placed to continue with its work, having listened to what the participants had to say in the forum. What is the next step?
One first thing that we are going to try out is to make the participants the owners of a forthcoming Cedefop report. So we have already produced the first draft on the basis of our prior evidence, our prior work, our analysis of our own data. We have the European skills and job data, but we have promised to the audience that they will be offered the opportunity to provide us with feedback, to provide us with additional examples of policy programs that they are undertaking. So eventually the final version of the report will be very much heavily influenced and reliant on their own inputs.
On top of that, we're also using this information to use it as part of a database that we're currently developing. And the ideas of that database is to provide information on different policies in many different countries, which have different approaches.
We as Cedefop have a great opportunity to also gain a lot of understanding and insights in the policies and the state of play and the needs of specific countries. So in this way, we can use this knowledge to support us and enlighten us in the respect of other projects.